I get a lot of questions on what is the best gold farms in the old content, and today we are going to go through my top 5 gold farms from TBC. So this video is going to contain gold farms from TBC. There is both going to be solo gold farms and group farms in this video. So gold farms from old content can actually sometimes yield even better gold per hour than gold farms in the current content. For example, the War Within. So the first farm that we are going to check out here on my top 5 gold farms from TBC is going to be Dampscale Farming. So basically what you are doing in this gold farm is you are killing those damp scales to get the Dampscale Basilisk Eyes. I got one right off the bat. They are worth 69 gold now, and basically all you do is killing a lot of those damp scales devourers and like the basilisk running around here in Terracar Forest. They have a decent drop chance of those eyes, and those eyes are actually used to like for a reputation in TBC that a lot of people are going for. So you need to have damp scales to get that reputation up to Exalted. This is going to be a great farm, and those eyes are actually selling quite good. As you can see, they have a sell rate of 1.2k average daily sold, which is really good for an old content farm like this. So all you do basically in Terracar Forest is you run around the rivers here. You can find yourself the best route of your opinion, but what I do is usually just run around the rivers here in a circle, and they are like all around the rivers everywhere, and there are so many of them, and the more you go, the more they spawn. So whenever you get around here again, they are definitely respawned. However, there is another way that you can farm this Dampscale Basilisk Eyes as well that I will be showing you right here. So if you come up to this ocean up here, there is a lot of basilisks as well. However, this place is going to require you to be in a group while farming. The other place you farm solo running around the river, but if you are running around this little ocean, you can make those Dampscales hyper spawn and actually probably get more of them per hour, but that requires the annoying part of getting into a group and finding a group to farm this item, which actually is going to take a lot of time itself to find a group, of course, so it might be better even to opt in doing this solo. This farm is going up and down in terms of gold per hour depending on how much those eyes are being farmed. I can say that they are probably usually going for around 60 to like 100 gold each, and I think this farm will be able to yield you about 15 to 25k gold per hour. So it's not going to be the best gold per hour ever, but it is a stable farm and it is soloable. I know a lot of you guys like solo farms, so it might be a very good option for you. Okay, so for our next gold farm, we are going to farm Moat and Primal Mana. This one is located up here in Netherstorm. You're gonna come to the Kirinvar village, and what you're going to kill is these Mana Seekers and the Mage Slayers. So they have a chance of dropping the Moat of Mana, and the Moat of Mana usually have a span price of around 20 to like 40 gold each, highly dependent on when you sell them, and that is going to impact your gold per hour here quite a lot. I do think that this farm is going to be able to yield you about 15 to like 40k gold per hour depending on the price of the Moat of Mana and how efficient your group is, because this farm is mostly a group farm. Of course, you can run around here and killing the Mana Seekers yourself, but that is going to give you too little gold per hour, I think, so I would not recommend you guys to do this farm alone. And for all of the transmog people out there, this is of course a place where you can get all of the rare stuff, open world stuff from the TBC. For example, the Fel Steel Longblade pattern, etc. So you can get some high ticket items here, of course, as well for all of you guys that is seeking those items. But basically, you just run around here, and if you are 5 people, this is going to make you way more gold. You just run around this village, and they are constantly respawning, as you can see. Like, there is going to be mobs up for you all of the time. They are hyper spawning, so just run around, make sure you're killing everything, like run in circles, spread out, loot, and get rich, guys. You get the Primal Mana combining 10 Moat of Mana into a Primal Mana. So what I usually do here if I want to get faster sales is I actually post both Primal Mana and the Moat of Mana on the auction house. So I basically split them 50-50 depending on the price of the primals and the moats. So unless the moat is like way cheaper, I do that because that gives you faster sales. Those items are selling quite fast, like you can sell quite a lot daily, but it's not like selling bismuth, right? In the War Within, it's not gonna sell hundreds of thousands of them in like 1 minute. So you will be sometimes posting them for a couple of times before all of them sell, depending on how lucky you are getting the sales. But this is a really good gold farm, guys, and I hope you check this one out. Okay, so our third farm on the list is actually going to be a little bit similar as the previous one. We are going to be farming Primal Fire instead of Primal Mana. So I am up here in Throne of Kill Jaden in Hellfire. There is a lot of those fire elemental here, and they have a chance once again to drop the Moat of Mana. This is quite a large area of them. You can run around, of course, doing this solo, like all of those farms is soloable, but it's going to be way better if you are in a group. So if you are in a group doing this farm, I actually highly advise you to like put up markers, try to spread out and kill on timers on this farm. This is going to be the most effective doing this farm. If that sounds scary and annoying, just skip it, run around and kill and loot. You can do that as well, but doing timers I think is going to increase your gold per hour quite a bit. So there are all of those fire mobs here. As you can see, they are all around the place here. They are a bit spread out, but if you kill them, like they hyper spawn, so you gotta just keep on killing. Try to get all of them down and like new ones spawning. So they're constantly respawning, but it is over all of this area. So usually you have to spread out. Like you need to have one guy over here, one guy over here, one guy there, there, and there. Like so you try to catch all of the mobs and make them to spawn. So Moat of Fire, this one is usually a bit more expensive than Primal Mana, I think. So this farm might actually yield you more stable gold per hour depending on how many of those you manage to pull out getting every hour. The Moat of Mana is currently 35 gold on the auction house, and the Primal Fire is 400 gold on the auction house as well. So this is really good, guys. I think that you are able to pull out like 100 of those an hour if you have a good group, and that's going to be like 40k an hour now if you go to the Primal Fire, but the Moat of Fire is like 35, so 35 gold. I think that is going to be quite hard maybe to pull off like 100 per hour. Maybe you have to be like a really good and efficient group. You should, however, be able to do like 80 of them, I'm pretty sure, quite stable per hour here. So this is gonna be a good gold per hour actually. And of course you have all the chances to drop those rare recipes and stuff killing those mobs. So you also have that chance on all of those farms, so that if you are very lucky, you can get like a 200k pattern that actually sells doing these gold farms as well. So it's all about luck, but the stable gold here is going to be roughly, I would say, between like 20 to 40k gold per hour depending on how good group you have. I highly recommend you guys to check out this farm, Primal Fire farm in Hellfire Peninsula. Really good, and actually quite a fun farm to do. I used to do this one a lot in the past, but I have been slacking on this one for a while now. Okay guys, so the fourth farm is going to be Fel Iron Ore Farming. This I tend to do in Hellfire Peninsula as well. So the Fel Irons are usually quite expensive. I would say they are spanning probably from around 16 to like 22 gold depending on when you sell them. Also you have the chance when mining those to get different moats. For example, you can get the Moat of Fire here as well, which can add up a little bit as well. So what I usually do when I do this farming is I fly around in Hellfire Peninsula. I usually skip like the right side here of the map. I tend to see less ores over here from when I have been doing this at the most, but usually I go into the little holes here, or whatever you should call them, in the map as well, because it is usually a lot of different nodes all over the place. So this is a mining only farm. You can be picking up the herbs. I am not actually sure if the picking up the herbs is worth it. I would think it is usually not worth it to pick up the herbs since they are so low priced, like 1 gold each, 2 gold each. That's just pretty much a waste of time. So I would only be doing mining if I were doing this farm over here, because this one can actually yield you quite a decent gold per hour. I think you can do everything from like 12k to like 25k gold per hour here if you do this in the correct way, being efficient and your competition isn't the wildest. I would think that is really good. So I highly recommend you to try out this farm as well if you are a miner. Some people is like a miner to the ground. They want to go all in mining, just doing all kind of different mining farms. farms. So this one is quite fun and it's nice to change up, maybe not always do the war within stuff. A lot of people don't want to get the best gold per hour as well. They want to change environment, they want to try different farms, and then I would highly actually look out for the Fel Iron Farm. Okay, so the next farm we're gonna check out is actually gonna be a bit different. It is going to be a mining group farm, which is really, really weird. What you're gonna wanna do is you wanna head to Nagrand and you wanna actually start a raid group. You wanna be 10 people to optimize this farm. What you are searching for in this zone is the Khorium Ore deposits. Khorium Ore is expensive, guys, and it is a really, really good ore to farm. You are going to sell one Khorium Ore for around 300 gold. They can span actually everywhere from like 280 gold to like, I've seen them upwards of 500 gold each, but that's probably really, really rare. Of course, as you can see, there are not too many, but they are not also purchased in like too big quantities. But this is a really, really rare node to find. And why do you want to be 10 people? Because in World of Warcraft nowadays, 10 people can actually mine the same deposit. To get the Khorium Ores to spawn, it's a rare spawn, so they can spawn instead of like adamantite deposits and so on. So what you want to do is you want to run around in your raid group all over Nagrand, mining the hell out of all of the other nodes than Khorium. Whenever you find a Khorium node, you announce in the raid group that you have found a Khorium node and everybody floods there. Go ahead, they mine it at the same time so it doesn't disappear, and 10 people get to mine the same Khorium node. This is going to be very efficient compared to farming Khorium yourself, of course, because 10 people searching for Khorium nodes instead of one is just gonna be way, way faster. Also, the more you farm adamantite deposits like this, the more Khorium ores is going to spawn. So trying to find 10 people for this is actually gonna be quite hard probably nowadays, but it's actually a very fun farm to do, and it's very, very different from everything else. Also, of course, you can get the Eternium ores from mining all of the different nodes. They are quite steady, valuable as well. Probably around 60 to 80 gold on those as well, and that's gonna add up as well. And that you get from like Fel Iron and adamantite ore as well, so that you can get while mining those as well. So this farm can actually get you quite a lot of gold per hour depending on how good a group you are and how lucky you are finding those Khorium nodes. But I would say that this farm can get you between maybe 15 to like 35k gold per hour depending on how good group and how efficient you are. I'm not sure, it's probably really hard to push the higher numbers. Not fully sure if it's possible to get 35k gold per hour doing this, but I would assume you can if you have a great group and you're doing this efficiently. But it is for sure a very different kind of farm and a very interesting one to do in a raid group mining. That's not something you do every day, right? So it's a special one for sure. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video of my top 5 gold farms from TBC. If you like those kinds of videos, please let me know in the comments and I'll keep pumping them out for every expansion. It is very interesting to do these farms because I have been mostly doing them more in the past and not so much lately, and I get to reinvestigate what is the best, like what I enjoy the most and what makes the best gold per hour. Also, what in my opinion is the most enjoyable ones to do consistently. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what I do. Consider joining Gold Cap or becoming a channel member if you want to support your brother a little bit extra. I'm live every day pretty much on Twitch, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.